Ambulance, 75-year-old male, back pain. It's 211 Silver Hollow Road.
Hi everyone, welcome back to Grandpa Mark's Hobbies and build update number 1 of our Mobius models, 1967 Ford F-100 service bed. We're turning this into a fire rescue truck for Hobbytown. And today we got it under paint. Everything went pretty good. I used my Mobius 0.3mm brush on everything today. It was flowing so good I just didn't want to put it away. So let's get everybody out of the way here and talk about what's going down. Sorry it took so long to get an update video out for this, but it took forever for me to get the parts ready for paint. There was a lot of little finicky stuff that needed to be done just to get it ready for paint. Every single part needed something. Let me pull you in here. Well, check out this body. I used Tamiya's X7 on the body, on the boxes, and on the interior. Now the interior, we got some stuff we're going to do with it, but I wanted to get a base coat of the red in there. I did not spray the underside because I was holding it with the thing this way, and there was just no way to get a good shot in there. So we'll come back and do that another time before I do my polishing and things like that, because I am going to have the whole inside red. You see, I painted the inside of the fenders the red too. The front and the firewall and the front latch piece will be semi-gloss black. But other than that, I'm going to have a bunch of red in here, and then we'll detail it out. Just because this thing went through and everything got painted at the same time. The inside the wheel wells fender wells got red too. But this paint went down very well for me today. I always kind of shy off of red because it's just, to me, it just never goes right. Well, today it went pretty darn good. I didn't have any really major problems with it. It laid down nice. It'll still need polished and everything, just because there's no way for me to get everything completely dust-free down here. But I can hit it with polish. Then I'm going to hit it with some of that high gloss clear, and that'll make this thing look wet. And I was debating on whether or not to do that until I was drove past the fire department the other day, and I saw everybody out there waxing the truck, and I was like, yeah, they're going to want the wet look on this. So that's what we're planning there. I did leave the trim on the bottom, and I didn't sand this off smooth either. I plan on chroming this. I'm going to bare metal foil both of them, and whatever else needs it. It's a fire truck. They're going to have the chrome on it. And it's just, you know, the way they would fly. Everybody wants to have as much chrome as they can, and the fire department really needs to shine. So that's the way we're going to go with that. And then I'll do like a Hobbytown rescue on here, rescue 15 up on the top here, I think is what I'm going to do on both sides. So that'll look really good. We'll do our own decals with that. We'll talk about the frame. I even have to back you up just a smidge. There we go. The frame, as you see, I got the springs on it, and I got the front cross member on there for the suspension. I did that before I painted it. Basically because I wanted these to be super solid on here for the rest of the build, because if these are loose, you're just not going to get, it's just going to be a pain in the butt. So I figured while I had it, and it's easy enough to do, I'll glue these on tight. Before I paint it, I use my Tamiya's extra thin glue on that. And then what I'll do is because I used that mix that I did for the GTO of semi-gloss and flat black, because I ran out of my flat black and mixed the two of them together. And what I'll come back and do now is, like for the frame and things like that, I'll hit that with a coat of quick shine, and that'll turn that into semi-gloss right now, real fast. And it's easy to do, so I figured I'll just do everything the same, the flat black or the mixed black, and then we'll come back and quick shine what I want to have semi-gloss, and the rest of it we'll just leave alone, and it'll be the flat. It'll work out good. So there's my frame. It does lay down beautifully, but again, like I said, mold lines right down through the center here on the springs, and just places that it shouldn't, on a modern kit, shouldn't have anything like that. I'm not a person that just wants to snip and glue things together, but on a modern kit like this, you should be able to almost do that. And it was nowhere near that. It was like the molds didn't come together all the way, and there was a lot of stuff that oozed out on every seam that had to be addressed. So we have probably 8 hours on and off, 2 hours a night, or an hour here, an hour there, but probably 8 hours of just cleaning parts before it went into spray. So I contemplated putting this thing in the box, to be honest with you. Just last night I was like, do I really want to keep going with this? And when I came down, I decided that I was so far into it that I might as well keep going, because all that tedious work that was just kind of ticking me off a little bit was done. So I was ready to paint and went ahead and kept going. Here's the 3 colors that I've used so far. This is that mix between semi-gloss and flat, and it came out like a satin black, and I like that color. This I kept the rest of the bottle, and I'm not going to use it anymore because I want to use this on a Roadster. I think that would be pretty cool. So we're going to save that color, and then it's just for the blue I did on the engine, I use the X4, and I'm kind of thinking that it might be a little dark, but then I'm thinking it'll be okay, it'll look good, because it is pretty close, and I know the old Ford is kind of dark, but it looks alright. I should have mixed a little bit of sky blue in with it instead of going straight out of the bottle. And I have another one of these kits that's a flare side that I'll do that with. And then the red is just the X7. And again, red always scares me when I paint it. And this time, as you can see, it sprayed pretty darn good with the blue. That Mobius airbrush is just phenomenal. Well, let's keep going here. The seats, I painted the black. What I'll do is I'll put 2 coats of quick shine on here and really bring the gloss up. And then I'm going to take my German gray and I'm going to thin it out. And then I'm going to dry brush it. And I'm going to dry brush it across the grain here, back and forth, to leave the dark down inside. But then it'll be a little bit lighter up on top and around here where people sit. And once that's done, I'll hit it with a quick shine one more time just to lock it in. And then I'll go over all of that with my black panel liner. Just like I did with the GTO. I'm going to do the same thing as that. That worked out really, really well for the black, and I'm going to do that from now on that way. So there's that. The underside of the body pan and the interior looks good for the carpet. This I'll have to hit with some quick shine here and a little bit up on the wall here, but other than that, the seat's going to cover that anyhow. But I'll know it's like it. So that'll happen there. I can get rid of this. I've been using the clothespins to hold it, so that when I'm done spraying it, I can set it and stand it up. And I'm doubling them up on the heavy parts like that, so that they don't fall over. The light parts, they stand no problem. but that works out good for me. This is going to be my battery box. What I'm going to do with this is I'm going to hit this with quick shine to seal this, and then I'm going to spray it with that clear that I used on the GTO and really give this a high gloss, because this is going to be in with the in between the two service boxes, and I want this to really shine the same as with the service boxes and everything, even though it's a different color. And I did the different color just to give it a different color, so it's not just all bang a whole bunch of red. Or I thought about doing it in the aluminum, and I think that would have been too much there too. So the black with the red and the aluminum, I think, is going to look really good. And I made this big enough where I can get the Arduino in here, a 9-volt battery in here with all the wires and everything. There's not going to be a switch. I don't think I'm going to need one. I could take this to a show, turn it on, and it'll run for 3 days with a 9-volt battery. I was sent this by John. He sent me an email saying, hey, he's got an N-scale speaker that'll work for me. So I'm going to hook this up through a little MP3 chip through the Arduino and make it to where we can play, have sirens going. I'll try to download the emergency theme song and things like that and put all that in there, and just so it'll have some interest. And then what I'll do is I'll program it to run off of an old TV remote, so that I can turn power on and that'll bring the lights on. Then I can hit a different button and that'll make the beacon start to come on and rotate. I can hit another button and the lights will flash. Let me bring this back over. Each headlight on the body is going to be wired separately towards the back, along with the 2 lights that go in the work boxes. There's a brake light and a backup light on each one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to make it to where when you push a button, then this light will go on, this light will go off, and back and forth this way. And these 2 lights will do the same thing, but opposite. So it'll be like a diagonal way the lights light on that. And then the dome light spinning around the bubble light on top. And then the headlights I'm going to have wigwagging on and off this way too. So it's going to be a bright setup. I think it'll look pretty cool in the long run. But speaking of the work boxes, they sprayed out real nice. They got a good coat of red on them. Again, just a little bit of touching up to do, and then I'll come in and I'll use my gel pen and things like that to highlight those door panels. We'll paint some chrome silver in for the latches and stuff like that. But I'm happy with the way they painted up. I really am. This is going to look good, and we'll put maybe a couple of different signages on here and things like that when we do the decals, just to give it a little interest. The hood came out great, and I'm really tickled because it's a perfect color match. I'm always nervous about that, because I couldn't put this on it because I wanted that red on the inside. And I'm always worried about a color match on there, but I think I got it this time. It came out pretty good. I did the rims red also. There's going to be a lot of red. It's a fire truck. I'll paint the aluminum in the centers for the front caps. But what I was thinking is I think I might still use the dog dishes on here to give it just a little bit more chrome on it. Even though it's a fire truck and it's a work truck, it's still going to have that chrome because, again, a little bit of bling goes a long way on a fire truck. Everybody wants to see it. So we'll do that. The door panels, I shot with the red. The center panel, I'm going to come back and I'm going to paint that flat black, and then I'll cover over that with the semi-gloss and bring it up to that leather look. And then we'll paint the door handles and stuff like that. But now that it's painted, look at how predominant all the details are in there. They really stand out proud, to the point to where you'll be able to come in sideways and paint this door, the crank, sideways too. so you can really go all out, and like the door latch and things like that where the pool is. That'll look real good. And again, it's going to be inside. You won't really see it, but we'll all know it's there. The dash, painted up very nice. Again, all red. Debating on whether or not to do the inside here in black, and then the chrome knobs, the chrome around this, and then paint the inside along with the radio and the heater and everything. So I'm not sure. I think that'd look good, the two-tone in there, but I might just leave it the red and go red and chrome and not really make it overpowering. Steering wheel painted out real good too. It's on the other side of the shop though. Again, with the frame, I didn't attach the differential. You know, I didn't do the rear. I didn't attach the rear end to it. You can see it drops right in there. But what I want to do is I want to run all my brake lines and things like that before I do that, and that way it'll be a lot easier just to tie everything in. But that's going to look so cool. So we got that. We got the back. We got the diamond plate, which I'm looking at the camera right now, and it looks awful bright, but it's not. This came out real nice, and it's not really thick. I am going to come back and just scuff it just a smidge, but only so that you can see the diamond plate better. Just right off the surface, and we'll leave that alone. And then the bottom, I decided since it's going to be the stainless, why would you paint stainless steel? You're just going to weld your beams onto it. So what I did is I painted this the stainless. I also painted the bottom boxes stainless so that they match. I'm going to paint these beams semi-gloss black, and I'm going to call it good with that. We are going to do a little bit of weathering underneath, because even though it's a fire truck, the underside's going to get a little dirty because you're just not going to climb underneath it every single time you go out. But it'll look good. And again, I didn't want just a big huge thing of black underneath there. I think this will look good set up like that, somewhere around there, kind of like that. But that's going to look good with the black ribs going across it. I think that's going to look really sharp, and then the red around it too, because these come down. You know, I painted those the red too, and they do come down underneath it like that. So you'll be able to see a little bit of it. But there we go. The engine, I used the blue, like I said, and I was almost thinking it was too dark until I put it up next to the red. And I'll do that right now for you. Set it in there. Just, you know, so you get the gist of the color. I think it looks all right. I really do. Here, we can do this. I think that's going to look okay. I kind of thought it was a little too dark, but then when I put it together, I think we're good to go with that. So I'm going to leave that too. And then the transmission took a while to get this seamless, to the point to where there's even putty on the transmission pan on the bottom, because there was some huge mold lines in there that were just sunk in. So I had to do 3 coats of putty even to get those to flatten out and sand them out and everything. But now it's done. It looks good. We'll still do our panel liner on this and really bump up the look. But again, this is one of those things that I'm thinking, you know, that's a brand new kit. It shouldn't have those problems. And it kind of brought me down a little bit. But now that I'm past that and I'm seeing all the detail that's on this, I'm pretty much okay with it. The carburetor is pitiful, to say the least. But it's going to be covered up by the air cleaner anyhow. So I'll run all those stuff to it, but there's no detail in it. There just isn't. And I'm not going to put a holly underneath this thing because it's not supposed to have one. But we'll be good with that. The breather and all that stuff will look good. I painted my fuel pump. The oil filter that goes in the side here got a coat of red or a coat of orange. And we're good to go there. What else did I have for you? Again, like I said, I painted all the suspension stuff and the pedals and all that with that semi-gloss black, or satin black I'm going to call it. And they all came out good. It painted up well. It really did. I'm glad I stuck with it. With the seats and everything, I think this is going to be a real winner. So with that, I will let you go. The guys are chomping at the bit to get back to their pizza. So I'll let them do that. You guys all have a great day, a better tomorrow, a fantastic week, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks again for watching.